Hey guys, it's Mary. So today I decided I'm going to do another book unhauling because I was looking at my bookshelves and I realized there are so many books I realized I'm never going to read again. Um, they're just taking up way too much space on my shelves and I just don't want to deal with them anymore. So let's get started. Book number 1 is Dragonfly and Amber by Diana Gabaldon. It is the second book in the Outlander series. The reason I'm giving this away is because I have one already. I bought one for myself and I got one as a gift for Christmas, and I can't exactly tell which one of these I'm giving away. But all I really know is that this is like an 800 plus page book and it's taking up way too much space on my shelf that I could be using for the next Outlander book I buy or another book. So, sorry, this is gonna go. The next book is a book from the Kingdom Keepers series by Ridley Pearson. It's set in Disney World, and I have actually realized that I bought this book a few years ago, and then without realizing it, I bought it on my Kindle in December. And there is basically no reason for me to keep a paperback when I already have it on my Kindle along with the fifth one. I don't really want to have a second edition of something I already have on my shelves. I know some people do, and that's totally okay, but it's taking up space on my shelves. The next book is a book called Devil's Kiss by Sarwat Chatta. I hope I say the name right. I read this book years ago. Honestly, I cannot tell you anything about it because I forgot a lot about it. I just remember it's this girl who's like in this society, or like in this cult kind of stuff that might have to kill somebody. It's just this really weird book and it's really enjoyable, but at the same time, I don't remember anything from it. I don't think I'm going to pick it up again. I just don't really care for it that much anymore. What are we on? The fourth book is Peter and the Starcatchers by Ridley Pearson and Dave Barry, and apparently I have a lot of Ridley Pearson books that I didn't know about. So Peter and the Starcatchers is like a Peter Pan retelling from Captain Hook's point of view, I think. I read this book like maybe 6 years ago. It didn't really catch my attention enough to read the second one. I was kind of pushing through towards the end, and I really didn't care to finish the rest of the series. So I don't think I'm going to reread this book. I don't think I'm going to continue on with this series. I'm just not that interested in finishing it or doing anything more with it than giving it away. The next book we have is a book called Tunnels by Roderick Gordon and Brian Williams. And it's a pretty cover. It's a very shiny cover. I don't really remember what this book is about besides a father and son building tunnels. Remember I bought it because I went to Borders one day and was like, I'm going to buy a book. And my mother picked this book up, said, oh, I heard this is going to be the next Harry Potter. And then I bought it and I brought it home and I read about 30 pages and I just got so bored. I don't think I'm going to be picking this back up again. I know it's a series now. I don't really care to read the series. And the funny thing is, I've actually not heard about this series since it came out. So I don't know where people got the impression it was going to be the next Harry Potter, because Harry Potter is still being talked about today, and I've not really heard another word about the Tunnels series. So that's that. The next book is The Education of Patience Goodspeed by Heather Vogel Frederick. I just remember it's a girl about a boat. On a boat. That's all I know. I remember enjoying this book. I don't remember much about it. I read it when I was like in middle school. I don't really care to pick it up again or to like reread it. Like, you know how there are those books from middle school that you kind of just want to keep rereading over and over again? This is not one of them. I remember enjoying it a lot. I just don't feel like this book is good enough that it is taking up a ton of space on my shelves. The next book will be a big surprise. I think just because it's such a classic book. It is The Hound of the Baskervilles by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And it's from the Sherlock series, as people know. I never really picked it up as a child. I never really cared to read it. Even now, I don't really care to read it. And, like, I never really cared about the Sherlock books anyway. I was more of a Nancy Drew kind of girl, and even then, I didn't read a lot of them. So, this is gonna go away, and I'm very sorry to all the Sherlock fans, but I would actually rather watch the show than actually read the book. Didn't realize how many books there was until I started making this video. And then the next book is called East by Edith Pateau. I remember this being a very hard book to get through. I didn't want to DNR it. I wanted to push through, and apparently it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Someone put that on a list somewhere because I'm obsessed with Beauty and the Beast retellings. Someone put this on there, and I was just like, I don't remember anything about this book. I don't remember it being a Beauty and the Beast retelling. This book bored me to the point where I had to put it down, and I was just struggling to the end, and I'm just not as impressed with this book as other people might be. I don't remember loving this book. It's gone. And the next book we have is The Mortal Instruments, City of Bones, Shadowhunter's Guide. Bought it for like $5 at Target a few years ago when the movie was just coming out. And I was like flipping through it just to see if there was like anything new in it. And there wasn't. And I was just like, I wasted a perfectly good $5 on something I've already known for years. Like, it was an enjoyable read, but at the same time, it wasn't the Codex. It wasn't new things. But the cover's pretty, though. And then the last three books are kind of like middle school grade books. It's an American Girl Real Beauty book. I used to be really big into American Girl. I still have my like Kit doll and her little books that came along. But then, you know, they also had like The Girl's Guide to Boys, like a growing up puberty book, and then Real Beauty and stuff like that. And I just don't care to reread this. I know what Real Beauty is. I don't really care. It's for like children of 7. And then there's this book called Let's Talk by Danae Dobson. I got this as a gift and I read it, and it's about like God and growing up with your faith and dealing with boys and stuff with that. I read it. I don't really care to read it again now that I'm 22, and I just don't feel like I feel like now that I'm a technically grown up and this says growing up, I don't really need to read this. I don't really care for it anymore. That is my unhauling. All these books tomorrow we will be going to Half Price Books. I just love half price books, and I feel like a lot of these books people might like that I won't give another chance, I won't give another thought of, that I didn't necessarily like enough to keep, or I already had another copy, so someone else is going to enjoy these at a marked down price, which I really love. Yeah, so I will see you guys with another video soon, and that is that. Bye!